Hello, welcome to Mending Threads. This is your safe place and your stronghold for whole body wellness. This is a transformation series, mind, body, and spirit. And today we're going to have a topic that we want everybody to engage in. Our Facebook friends, please hop on and let us know what your thoughts are about the topic. And also, listeners, please go to Mending Threads Women's Resource Center. Like us, send us messages there, and we will greatly appreciate it. Thank you. You can go to Mending Threads Women's Resource Center and also find us on YouTube to follow up with this topic. So I'm just going to say thank you and good morning to everybody here. I see we have Mr. Kite. I'm going to mispronounce names, but our co host today is Brother Joseph Sam of Rooted to Wellness. And I want to thank him for being here today. And he has two other guests that he's going to introduce. But I want to say a little something about Brother Sam. So, Brother Sam has been with the Women's Resource Center for some time and has led on the second Saturdays of every month, generally lead the group discussion and resources in herbal healing and cleansing. So, I do want to ask people and let them know that we'll be back to the Women's Resource Center Saturday morning wellness clinic in September. We will not be there the month of August. The month of August, we'll be sending you information so that you can begin to read it and put it in your health book. Okay. So, Brother Sam is well versed in the information that he presents. And we want you to engage by going to our website, wrc-houston.com. Become a subscriber, leave information specifically for Rooted to Wellness and Brother Sam so that we can interact with that and have that during the month of August and September and going forward. I appreciate it. So I'm going to turn it over to Brother Sam and let him introduce um, our other two guests.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Lewis. And just like to start by saying peace and love to everybody and have two wonderful, wonderful guests that are near and dear to me. First, we have Miss Dr. Fisher, amazing, amazing holistic doctor in Houston, just really helping many people out here. I love you so much, and I'm just glad for you to be on the show today. And we had the amazing, the great Michael Kai Bay, amazing soul, a master herbalist, and we just love talking, just sharing knowledge with each other, and just trying to help heal the world one person at a time. And I'm just glad. Thank you for being on the show today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it, and I'm honored to be extended the offer.
Well, thank you.
Well, I'm just going to welcome everybody on behalf of the
Awesome.
Women's Resource Center. And I wanted to get right into it because we have a lot of concern. I even left the lady just a few minutes before the show who's really made just excellent progress. And she's working not only her weight loss, but she's working on her wellness. And we had a person this morning with diabetes and another person with Alzheimer's at 7 a.m. So I'm going to throw this out there because the statement is herbal cleansing and use for wellness. And I want us to really look at like anxiety and some other things, but I really want to look at herbal cleansing because and I want Brother Sam to kind of set the stage because he was saying we of course we cannot address any of these things unless we get the body prepared. So I want to talk a little bit this morning about preparing the body for wellness. Okay. So I'm going to throw it out there. So Brother Sam, it's in your court.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, the first word we're going to talk about is disease and how this relates to everything. Disease is an old French word. It's des, D-S, then AIDS, A-I-S-E, but then they changed the E's for English. And in Old French, disease or disease means lack of ease. It means lack of ease or inconvenience. We inconvenience ourselves every single day. And it's due to the society that we live in. It's due to us having kids, having bills, having family, having friends, and what's going on in the world. And the biggest thing about that is that we need to be more in tune with ourselves because how do we fix this, right? We need to give our body nutritious substance to heal ourselves. We need food. If you look up the word food in a dictionary, it says a nutritious substance that a person or an animal eats or drinks that gives you life. So how many people is really eating food? Not many people are eating food. I have people say, "Hey, you want some cherries?" I say, "No, I want some food." But they actually don't want food. They actually eating something that's causing an inconvenience to their body. It's causing stress to the body. So with all this stress coming to the body, it's causing nervous system problems. It causes problems to your endocrine system, problems to your gut, cardiovascular. It causes problems everywhere. So, in order to fix that, you got to start by first breathing properly. Because I want everybody on here to take a deep breath, deep as you can. I can tell you right now, all this stress and anxiety, how many people can really think about stress and anxiety when you're taking a deep breath? You can't. When you breathing, focus on your breath, focus on deep breathing. You can't think about nothing but your breath. You can't think about nothing but yourself. But we have everything going in the world that's outside of ourselves that we are stepping into, and we letting us bring down our defense systems in our body. I mean, play with our brain. Like, do you know that this stress that we give ourselves, the stress and anxiety, is really the same thing? It's all the same thing. Disease and stress is the same thing. But there's always two sides of stress. So let me tell you the second side of stress where we go back to the original stress that we talk about. You can use you can use stress to make you better too. Perfect example, when you work out, you put your body under stress to tear up the muscles so your body can rebuild itself. So that's when you use stress intentionally to make you stronger, faster, bigger, or stress mentally so your body can get rid of all weaknesses, like fasting. Fasting is putting your body under stress to get rid of all the impurities in the body. But when you're not being intentional with your stress to promote healing, you're under stress that is boosting up your cortisol levels, wreaking havoc in your nervous system, breaking down the barriers in your gut. Stress causes leaky gut. Stress causes Graves' disease. Stress causes multiple sclerosis. Stress causes Parkinson. Stress causes Alzheimer's and dementia. Stress causes everything. If our bodies were at ease, we would
Alzheimer's.
at all times. That's why you think they
Alzheimer's.
use the word disease, lack of ease, inconvenience. You're inconveniencing yourself because you're not being in tune with yourself and not giving yourself food, which is substance that give life. Eating chicken, pork, turkey does not bring life. And then you know how someone can stress you out because they stressed out. You're eating stressed out animals, knowing they're getting slaughtered, and that's getting transferred into you. And then you're cooking it in grease, oils, all types of substances. That's not food.
There is some research that shows that the manner in which a person thinks, the mind as it moves toward the brain, certain parts of the brain like the amygdala, keeps the brain from coming to a rest. Okay, where we when we were breathing, it helped to be a rest. I'm just saying this to our audience. So because this food is medicine that we're speaking about to heal the body, that the body will actually, according to Harvard Medicine, did a review recently, that the body begins to reject based on how we think about what we're eating. Like if we're under high stress, chemically in our bodies, just because of what we do, lead us, drives us, if we think that way, to unhealthy foods, like grease and sugar, and that as a result to trying to balance because I'm getting ready to ask you a question, balance the stress. So if that is so, and you were speaking, this is to anybody, then how can a person, when they're beginning to do rethinking, if how can a person heal themselves? How can they? Should they move toward in replace of this drive for
Ooh,
sugar and degree? You understand? What can keep them from?
absolutely.
Because I know somebody's on here asking that. Mhm.
That's a beautiful question. I would first recognize that everything begins with the mind. When you set your mind to something, you can accomplish anything. You could feel good about a hot date and be like, "Ooh, I hope we get a nice big popcorn and share a great laugh," and that'll actually happen. You can you can have it in your mind that this ginger ale is gonna help my upset stomach, because you can actually visualize you drinking that ginger ale, it hitting your stomach reacting, and you feel good after a few burps, hit the bathroom a few times. And that's exactly the programming that we instill into our foods when we say grace. We're thankful for what we have. We're thankful to receive
Mhm.
this abundance of blessings. And it's the same thing when we thank these herbs for the healing power that they have, the regenerating abilities that the melanoids within the plants, what we call chlorophyll in the plants, aligning with the melanoids within our body and restarting, or activating, stimulating, breathing life, or giving a spark back into our cells to say, hey, you're slacking a little bit, fam. Let's get back to it. And the healing process begins. But it begins in the mind. It begins by receiving and opening oneself up to say, hey, I'm here to receive what this has to say. Just like when you receive a hug from your mama or your daddy or someone that's close to you.
That
It's,
is
it's no
so
different.
right on there. And people discount those hugs, but yes, the hugs are actually healing. That's a healing thing
Medicine.
that people are letting go of because of maybe COVID, maybe fears of a lot of other things. And coming up, there's this trifecta thing that's coming up. We won't get into that today, but that's going to be a biggie coming up in the near future, and going to separate us in terms of touch and distance and things like that. But so that's really good that you're mentioning it is the thought, the thinking process. So then, what do we have to do? I know knowledge we need. So, what is it that you've discovered, either of you, in working with people or studying whatever, that helps a person move toward that, other than giving them, you can induce a person to think, so to speak. You can put images before them. You can put positive images, visualization, words. You can put them in a setting. You can give them partners. But what have you discovered that helps a person move toward choice, move toward choosing, um, health, food as medicine or herbal cleansing and use?
Well, I can say that a lot of times, with the balance in life, how it works, a lot of times most people have to face adversity. It's unfortunate, it's kind of like when our parents or grandparents tell us, hey, I see this coming. They try to give us a warning, and we just blow right through and say, whatever, it ain't gonna happen to me. But then it literally has to happen to you for you to make that change.
Ooh.
And it hurts because we don't have
Mhm.
to go through certain things, but we decide to. But
Mm.
by going through it, it can make us better and stronger. It just depends how you react. Now, the issue is with this stress, everybody's in fight or flight mode. If you're in constant fight or flight mode, you are draining every mineral out your body. This anxiety and stress affect every single system in the body. Do you know that stress can cause diabetes? And stress, it affects how everything is absorbed in your body. So you get bloated, you start getting pains, everything, you just feel just horrible. You feel like a Titanic is sitting on your chest. You can't breathe. Most people that have grinding teeth, anxiety. People got the tremors, anxiety. Everything is due to stress. And the first thing I would tell them to do is breath work, because that's the simplest thing to do before we go anywhere else. Focus on breathing. I will try to breathe 50 deep breaths. Deep breath in the nose, hold it 8 to 10 seconds, breathe out, mouth or nose. Some people say mouth, some people say nose. I'm a nose in, nose out, but either way is fine. But
Mhm.
make sure you just go nose in first thing, because you want to get them filters to come in to filter the air before you comes into your body. And you do that every day. Number one, you're going to burn fat because the oxygen burns fat in your body. Two, you're going to increase your lung capacity because people during COVID, wearing masks actually decrease the size of their lungs, which makes that in turn makes sure that you don't have enough oxygen coming into your body. So people are getting sicker because less oxygen coming into the body due to them wearing masks all the time. So breath work can expand your lungs. After doing this, you might feel that your lungs hurt because you're expanding your lungs. That means you're getting more oxygen in your body. And when we're talking about oxygen, you're talking about spirit and you're talking about life. And remember, we're trying to take in nutrition substances to give us life. So therefore, oxygen is food. Sunlight is food.
I say. If I
I
could add
wanted.
on to that,
Mhm.
oh,
No, that's all
I
right.
just
Go
wanted to
on.
add on to that
Okay.
because that was very eloquent what he just said and very profound towards the end. Notice how he said the oxygen, and how the oxygen is how we, with any disease, you have to clean the blood. But in order to clean the blood, you have to oxygenate the blood cells. So breathing can literally clean the blood. Enough breathing, you can reverse any disease. And that's the key about it. People don't want to breathe properly. But if we learn how to be open to that, trust ourselves to breathe properly. It's okay if you get it wrong the first couple of times, but trust yourself to be consistent, and you will be able to see results with your own breathing. Before you even do anything, you could not eat anything for 30 days, but breathe and drink water for 30 days, and you will definitely see those results. I just want to add on to that. That was eloquent, though.
And,
I
and
just
you
want to
know
say,
what?
Brother Sam, I made it. I didn't make my 30 days. I only made 14 days on the
That's
Tuesday.
good.
I tell you one thing, I couldn't make it. But so next time I'll try to add a day. That's the best I can do.
Hey,
I did,
it's all in steps,
I
but
did good. But I wanted to ask Dr. Fisher if she has encountered and what she has encountered with geriatric patients or persons that she worked with. See, because breathing is so important to cognition as well, and also herbal cleansing or herbal use is important to the intake. And I wanted to see if what she has found with working with geriatric patients as well.
All right. I do want to apologize because I don't know why you're going in and out on my end. And I don't know if it's just me where we're losing the whole screen and then it comes back while you're talking. So I'm just missing certain aspects of your questions.
Oh,
So I do apologize for that. You guys could hear me, right?
yes.
yes.
Yeah. Are you guys experiencing that where it's fading out the whole system and then coming back in?
No.
Or is
No.
this so it's just on my end? Okay. It's just
No, but I do see your screen flickering.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I was wondering because her words are coming in and out, and then the whole screen goes away, and then it comes back. So just to be clear, before it took off a few seconds ago, you mentioned, have I encountered any mental wellness or mental challenges with the geriatric population? Is that what you were saying?
Yes, and how you use herbal cleansing and use or with the population, because I know we have quite a few people on our Saturday wellness that would be interested. Hmm.
Okay, wonderful. So I definitely have to say that just to piggyback on what our other gentlemen have been saying in terms of dealing with a lot of the clients that I work with, one of the biggest challenges I find is that we're still dealing with a lot of childhood trauma.
Mm.
And so, because of the lot of childhood traumas, I really try to work with them to see how we can start to shift and just remove some of those layers of the subconscious mind that's blocking them from finding true, genuine happiness in their life. And that's where a lot of it I find. Now, just to layer on top of that, I do a lot of counseling on nutrition in terms of just educating that population on what GMO foods are, because a lot of them don't understand GMO foods. They feel like they can eat what they ate 20 or 30 years ago, which is different than what we're eating now. So, not understanding that a lot of that inflammation is clogging up their ability to think clearly and to just be able to process clearly are some of the challenges that I find working with the why what I call wise population because I always love learning from them because there's always so much wisdom there, but just helping them to understand the time, the unit of time that we're living in right now in terms of what could be creating some of this mental challenges. We start with, of course, cleansing. So every client that comes to me that's new, I always put them on a cleanse because that is like Joseph said, that's the first place you want to start with cleansing up the body. I always tell them, we know to take a shower every day and to cleanse our body with good clean water, but when it comes to eating, we're drinking soda and Coke, and nobody showers in Coke, do we? No, we shower in clean water. So it's important that they understand the importance of cleansing the inside with good fresh water and juices, and to just remove a lot of the dust that has just compounded on top of those organs inside of their
Hmm.
body. Once we do that, we got a good fresh start to start to work through some of the layers of the trauma. I do offer a quest test here, which is pretty phenomenal. It looks like this. I'm going to show you so that our viewers can see.
It's
This
amazing.
quest test that I use. And what I like about it that's so unique, it looks like this, and all they do is come in and hold this little device. And what it does is I scan them emotionally. And when I scan them emotionally, I'm able to see what's causing your emotional issues, who's causing it, what's created it, so that, it's one thing to sit down and talk, it's another for your cells to tell me this is what the problem is. So I love to do that with that population because it'll tell me the source of the disharmony, what body parts it's affecting, so that it gives them some tools to use to be able to move forward, so we can start to remove these layers of trauma that's creating some of those problems.
And
Oh,
you know
that's
what?
good.
And
Hmm.
Dr. Fisher, you have to tell them about we were talking about the oxygen, about your oxygen machine.
The ozone. You talking about the ozone?
Yes.
Yeah, we do offer ozone therapy because we talk about the importance of oxygen. So, how do we get extra oxygen in the body? So, we offer oxygen therapy, which is to be able to get some more oxygen in the lungs and in the brains and the rest of the areas of the body. So, there are things we can do to work through mentally and emotionally. But Brother Bay said, deep breathing. Just taking a deep breath, getting some more oxygen. Of course, that's always going to be your first and foremost, is getting more oxygen into the body. And so we all support that. But what about other alternative ways that we can continue to get oxygen in the body? Ozone is just an alternative therapy that we offer for those who have challenges, just even doing deep breathing, because I'm definitely a fan of them doing deep breathing, but I'm also a fan of helping them to remove some of the childhood traumas, as well as understanding the importance of GMO. We have this device here called Brain Tap, which is pretty cool. So what I people come in and they put these little headphones on their head and they have glasses that come over their eyes, and then we set a program to tap their brains with light and also with hearing therapy, and we tap into the areas of the brain to help them to start to move past the state. So it's like a combination of meditation and somebody coaching them through this device for about 20 to 25-minute sessions.
Do they engage
Mm.
in like about feedback sort of?
Yes, that's similar what it is, except they get to lie
Yes.
down and just listen
Right.
to a therapist on this device talking to
Yes.
them. So whether it's weight loss, whether it's mental, emotional stress,
Yes.
whether it's
Yes.
trauma, they can select which therapy they need at that time.
That's most
Ooh.
important, and it's so effective. And I've over the years I have found that to be so meaningful. So that's something that we would really be able to use even more
She's
of with
frozen to me.
persons
Is it
who
just me? She's
are post
frozen.
traumatic stress and depression. You see, the combination.
And Dr. Lewis, I was going to say that you see how this all came back to your mental coach program about the adverse childhood experience, ACE.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Mm-hmm.
It's
Right.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to it. So that the audience will know as well. We have the intergenerational clinic, and where we look at adverse childhood experiences and look at wellness interventions.
Hmm.
And what we're doing is a teaming. So our teaming meetings have begun on Community Connect. Everybody comes, anybody in the community who's interested, come, because our goal is to link the power of community healing, and then have it available to the community on some sliding fee scale or some volunteer or free scale. And we're working on both levels so that we could heal the community. But yes, that is so very much. So last night we held our Community Connect, and people are signing up. They're doing their MOUs where everybody keeps their identity of their own organization, but we
Hmm.
learn to collaborate and we learn how to lock arms. And so last night we
Hmm.
talked about the importance of locking arms for wellness and the difference between collaboration and locking arms. Okay, then. So I'm looking forward to locking arms with everybody on here, led by Rooted to Wellness, and then we'll see where we are. I'm just so excited about it, really, because we've done a community walk, several, and there are people in the community who have shared what their needs are and what they cannot access. And
Hmm.
what we're offering is a method to access it, to access the services at their level or their need. So I'm just so excited about it. Yes, sir. So I have this question then. So then, if cleansing, can we get into a little bit of suggestions or ways in which people can cleanse, use herbal cleansing, if they were to have anxiety, or if they were to have, how would one begin? Because we're going to see, so we're going to, because Brother Sam had me doing this fruit cleanse and I almost passed out, right? But the thing is that, and then I did a 30-day with one of the churches where you couldn't eat all day, and I was like, look. So one of the things that I know is that everybody must tailor it according to their energy level expansion and energy level use. So there's another key that goes to this, that we must talk about how a person eases in,
Ooh.
and which is very important. So I came up with mine. My balance at this time is to not eat and to do all fruits and liquids in the morning,
Okay.
and not to eat anything until maybe like 1 or 2 o'clock. Okay. And then when I do that, then I eat something like a good meal. Mine is the other way around. I have to eat something pretty much like greens. I can tell you that. So if I have me some good greens or some cabbage or something during the day, and then I don't have to eat again until 5. And after that, I don't eat anything. And when I eat at 5, I'm now eating something different. I'm eating like raw something or whatever, and a piece of fruit. And I'm so glad it's summertime, and watermelon, which they told me
Yes.
I shouldn't be eating, but I put
Look,
this one.
seeded watermelon.
Oh yes, seeded.
Yes, yeah,
Seeded
So
yeah. There you
real,
is,
go. Yeah,
I call it real watermelon, right?
yeah.
well, yeah.
Yeah,
Technically, shoot.
definitely.
So that's what I'm on. And so, brother Sam, I'm doing that to balance off that weakness I had. So that's my next 2 weeks. That's what I'm doing, and we shall see what happens. So my goal, the way that I'm going, and I'm saying all this for our audience, my goal for evaluating it is going to be my energy level, my skin, my digestive system, and those are the three main
Hmm.
ways. But people laugh at me. But as soon as I start doing anything healing, the very first place that I can tell the difference will be my eyes. Okay,
Hmm.
then when people laugh at me, I said, but I can tell by my eyes.
They get
I,
sharper.
they get sharper,
Mm,
they feel fresher. Hmm.
Are
right.
you getting sunlight? I would say
Ooh.
because
Mm,
I
that's
love
awesome.
when Dick Gregory talks about this. He said, "Hey, just walk. I want you to walk when the sun is out because that's going to release stress in your body. Walking in the sun lower your cholesterol in the body, lowers your blood pressure, and you got the sun hitting your skin, which converts into energy. We actually eat the sun. We eat the sun. We eat the oxygen. We eat
And the
all.
sun is more therapeutic, just to add to what you're saying, Joseph. The sun is more therapeutic than any antidepressant medication. And sometimes
Mhm.
people just need to recognize it. You go out there and you immediately in your mind thinking it's hot. But I tell people that is your doctor in the sky. And when you walk out there, oh my goodness, that radiation beam, that natural radiation beam is so therapeutic to the mind. Just think about when you walk out there how your mood totally shifts. It makes a huge difference.
And
Yes.
That's another.
I was just gonna say, brother Bay, let me say this because it might go away. So listen,
Absolutely.
so Dr. Fisher mentioned something about going outside. And you can I used to have light stations in my office. And I would encourage people to get daylight bulbs in their homes.
Hmm.
And actually when they use the daylight bulbs, they would be able to rate their depression as a lower level and their energy as a higher level. And so you're just that's just to give verification to what you're saying. Mhm.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. Those fluorescent light bulbs give off a gas that makes it really difficult to process information or to think properly or to
Yes.
uphold emotional integrity. It's also hard to sleep as well with those. So people should stop using
Daylight
fluorescent
bulbs?
light bulbs.
Don't tell me, please. Are you saying the daylight bulbs as well?
No, no, no. Just the
Oh,
fluorescent light bulbs.
okay then. I'm just trying to make sure because that's what I'm. Mhm.
And while we're on the subject, anything that has Bluetooth will also give that same effect because Bluetooth, it tampers with the theta waves and also, well, yeah, we'll just leave it there. Makes it hard to sleep.
Right.
And if anybody is into cybersecurity, Bluetooth is hackable, so be careful with that. Well, I was gonna say about the sunlight, um, and Joseph had brought up an excellent point that we eat the sun. The alchemical symbol for carbon and also the sun is the exact same. And, as carbon people, not carbon based people, but carbon people, we definitely eat the sun. Our melanoids, once again, combine with the melanoids, but this time of the element of heat. Learning the elements is very important because there's 5 different elements and there's 5 different dimensions in which we live physically that produces this density, right? Which is why we have different states of oxygen or hydrogen, however you want to call it. There's liquid, solid, gas, right? and even different stages of that gas. You can have thick gas, you can have thin gas, you can have gas that's suffocating, right? You have humidity, you have cold, but what this is doing is making sure that you're opening up with the meridians, in the body. So you're talking about your energy state. When your meridians are being hit, the pools of energy, which resides on the right side of the body, which I advise, if anybody has anything on the right side of the body, technology wise, stop. This is the receiving energetic wise, of the pools of your energy that stretches out to the left side of your body, extending that so that way you can properly receive with the left side of your body. But if you're tampering with those meridians, with those pools of energy, or with your interference of obtaining sunlight, which should be at 3 different times in a day, from 6 to 9 in the rising, and then from 1 to 3 in the afternoon, and then from 6 to 9 in the evening. You want to catch these hues at different times, because these represent the different stages of hues within the body. What we call, this may be out there for some, but the chakras, they exist. It's one chakra, but it's the body we're talking about, and we're talking about different vibrations that make up the framework of the body, that make up our emotional state, how we feel grounded, our ability to move, our ability to love, our ability to comprehend, our ability to hold a conversation and actually be reciprocal in the conversation. We feed off of energy exchange with other people. So being around, right? Having a great conversation while going for a walk, and let's say we're barefoot as well, because we want to get our feet in the grass, and that's a great way to release radiation. For those that have different stages of cancer, radiation is being held in the pelvic area of the body, and then it extends out into different areas of the body, but it first is in the pelvis. So having the feet in the grass as much as possible is a great way to get rid of extra radiation that's in the body, especially people that's going through chemo treatments of any kind, which I'm highly against. But if you are, get your feet in some grass, get your skin out in some sun, take that wig off, and let that scalp feel the sun. Like, who cares how you look? Shoot.
You know what? You just said something that was interesting to me.
That's
You
right.
said the pelvic. So how many people's cell phone touch their pelvic?
Ooh, they
Oh,
put it in their pocket, don't they?
Yep.
When they come in here, the guys are good for sitting on it and
Yep.
putting it between their legs.
Ooh.
And I'm always,
Yep.
oh, please forgive me.
And look, I'm gonna show this.
Or in their breast.
Yep. You see this?
Ooh.
It's an EMF radiation blocker.
Mm-hmm.
99%. Then look, these headphones, EMF headphones. I see Michael, you got the cord. I got the cord. I do not play with Bluetooth.
I don't either. And I got my black tourmaline and pyrite on me for that radiation too. You feel me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Black
I don't.
tourmaline.
And on the back of my phone, I have a 5G disc
Oh yeah.
blocker. So I usually have that on my
Well,
phone.
let me see what
Yeah.
it is. Let me see what it is.
It's a 5G. 5G disc blocker. So we have 5G
That
now.
little thing you have in the center there.
Right here, sitting on top of the battery. So that's to block a lot of radiation. And yeah, I don't use Bluetooth either. And I try to
Well, you
encourage my
should.
clients
Somebody
to take
send me
those
that
off.
so when we send out our next meeting to everybody, our info sheet. We're doing that info sheet. So I'm asking everybody to send in information to put on the info sheet and put it under the name. Put your name under it. So if people need to follow up, then they would have that.
I love it, y'all. We ain't trying to get this radiation, except for the sun.
No.
That's the only radiation I
Only
want.
the
Is the
sun.
sun.
That's the best radiation, the sun.
So that's a good prevention that you just mentioned, and also I think in the sun would be good. Is there a way to? And I read something, but I don't remember, to harness something through your window. It was saying something about harnessing the rays of the sun through the window.
1000%.
Huh? How you
1000%.
Okay. How do
Well,
you?
see, I mean, it all depends on the intention in which you plan to capture and also distribute said energy from the sun. Are you using it, for a source of power, or are you using it to extend the light, without throughout the house? But there's several ways you can do it.
Uh-huh.
You
Okay.
can do it with mirrors. You can do it by ways of convex and concave glass, by way
Yeah.
of a tunnel system. Now this is about perception, so you have to learn geometry, sacred geometry, just learning shapes and angles, and degrees in which refraction of light can hit a reflection of light, and how you can bend that and focus that energy. And this is also how you get lasers, holograms. You can have interactive and different densities of light as well.
Mhm.
So they were taught. They were speaking about that to use that for energy around depression, and also around cancer. So it was just an article. I'm trying to see what magazine it was in. I'll find it. But yeah, I just wanted to know more, a little bit more about it. Can we talk just a little bit about what would we have a few minutes left. Can you give me some ideas of how people would get started if they wanted to move toward healing their body and getting, other than the things we've already mentioned, what herbs could they begin to use to cleanse their body toward decreasing maybe anxiety, or getting their body, I call it mind, body, spirit aligned.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this, because whenever I mention a herb, I gotta mention something else. I never want to think someone can continue their lifestyle that is causing an inconvenience and disease to them and just take
Mhm.
herbs.
Right.
I never, that's my disclaimer every single time. If you're going to cleanse, go through a cleansing phase, go through your stages. Number one, the number one herb is breathing
Mm-hmm.
in the sunlight, putting your feet in the ground. That's the number one herb. That's all in one. Then after that, adequate hydration, and we can get that from natural
Mm,
fruits, and we get that from
Mhm.
spring water that's naturally alkaline. Then after that,
mm,
we're doing the breath work, getting the sunlight. That means we're already lowering our stress level. Our body's getting better at ease. We're getting hydrated, because when you get hydrated, now things are able to move around in your body to be flushed out. So now we can take herbs like cascara sagrada, rhubarb root, ginseng root. These herbs
Mhm.
is gonna
ooh.
reset the gut, and it's gonna get a lot of stuff out of you. I know that for a fact. I just recently dealt with one of my clients, and let's just say it was crazy. It was crazy, and
Oh yeah.
then now we got to get the brain. Remember the brain gut connection. The brain and the
Yeah.
gut is all connected. So now we need to get some stuff like Egyptian blue lotus. We need to get ashwagandha.
Ooh.
We need to get the
Ooh.
butterfly pea flower. With these things,
Ooh.
the skull cap, and these are so important because
Yeah.
it brings balance to the body. It's going to help drain your glymphatic system, which is connected to your lymphatic system, and then
Exactly.
cleansing the gut, right? And then taking sea moss is going to repair the gut, the
Mm,
lining of your gut, so you can get rid of leaky gut. So all these
Mhm.
toxins in the stomach, all this toxins is leaking out into your body, wreaking havoc. So the sea moss is going to repair the lining of your gut. By you getting sunlight and drinking water and putting your feet in the ground, getting all the oxygen, it's going to remove them ulcers in your stomach. Because most ulcers are caused by stress.
mm-hmm.
And then after that, we're going to be
Exactly.
cleansing the blood. We're going to be cleansing the lungs. Anytime you have any sickness or disease, because stress is a disease,
Yes.
and we can balance
Mm-hmm.
that. So anytime that you cleanse the entire body, I don't want people to focus on one thing. I just said that what stress can cause diabetes. So
Mhm.
I'm not worried about someone telling me, hey, I can't just eat this food. It's deeper than that. I don't, we've been taught that everything is symptom based. It's not. These symptoms is warnings like, hey, you need to do something different. It's not to take something that has a side effect. It's about cleansing your entire body out. If you put your body at a state of ease, you will be disease free.
Oh,
I
that's so
sure.
good the way you
Mhm.
said that. Now, so when we have our clinic, um, I would like for you to, if you can think about it. I know we're planning to do this talk at least once or twice a month, okay? And getting people more involved, and we're setting up a platform where people can begin to respond. Okay,
Mhm.
then. So I'm looking forward to that. So I'm hoping that you guys can come back with Brother Sam at least on the fourth Tuesday of each month, at least. And we'll probably be doing the fourth and the fifth Tuesday of every month for sure.
Okay.
Okay, then. So that's just something that I'm going to ask you if you would like to say anything directly to our audience that would help them get started, would help them see the power that they have in their own lives, or any tidbit of information that you would like to. I'm going to ask each one of you to share at least one thing.
Mm,
I'll start. The one
okay.
thing I would ask is the most important thing is open your refrigerator, open your cabinets, look at the ingredients that's in the food that you have. I don't even want to call it food because I just said food is nutritious substance that give life. Just look at the things that's in your cabinet, look at the things that's in your pantry, look at the things that's in your refrigerator, and I want you to read the ingredients, write them down, and then look them up. And then you ask yourself, does this give me life? That's that's
Ooh.
that's how it starts.
Oh,
Very
that's
good.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That was great.
Dr. Fisher?
Sure. Thank you. That was wonderful, Joseph, and very, very good, sound, solid advice. My suggestion would be everybody pretty much has Netflix, right? I always encourage my clients to watch two documentaries that I think will launch you because we all like to be entertained, right? So I always encourage my clients to watch What the Health.
Mhm.
Okay. What the Health is a documentary. And I always encourage them to watch Fork Over Knives. Fork Over Knives. These are two documentaries that will help you to understand why we have arrived at where we have arrived and why is there more sickness, obesity, mental health problems, just so many chronic elements that has swept our nation. So those are two videos that will give you a history of where we were and how we arrived at where we are. And I think when you have a really good foundation for where you need to go, now you have a solid foundation of why you need to make a change, and that what you have done in the past cannot continue on in your future because the industry has changed. At that point, after you finish watching those videos, that's when you are in full authority to make a decision as to whether you are going to get in the driver's seat of your health or you're going to remain in the passenger seat. So that's a decision that
Mm,
each individual has to make. But what those two videos do is give you the tools to make a decision. And whatever you decide, I support it. But you need to know why change is inevitable and it really has to take place.
Oh, very
mm,
good, very good. We got two good ones there. Let's see what we got from Mr. Bay, what he's going to leave us with
love it.
today.
Oh yeah, no pressure. Yeah. Yeah, how can I follow up with
It's
those two? Yeah.
You got it, Will.
Right.
because he comes from
Yeah.
around
No
the
pressure. Yeah. You're up,
so,
buddy. Yeah, man. I love it.
All eyes on
Thank
you.
you. It's beautiful. It's remarkable to be in this quadrant of greatness right here. Um, and thank you very much for those perspectives and selfless way of giving that information, but also selfish because you care. So thank you very much because that sincerity is felt. At least to me, I can't speak for everybody else, but I felt that. You feel me? What I would definitely say is forget what you know about food, health, what you were taught. You know, we were all lied to. You know, um, because not everything. Yes, you can eat everything, but should you eat everything? I don't think so. Should you eat glue? I don't think that's a good idea. Just because other people are doing it and they're still breathing to a certain extent doesn't mean that we should too. Because we were born to be eternal. We were created by an eternal being. Therefore, our design is from said design of the infinite one. And we decrease our eternal state when we consume things that are not of nature, right? The further we get from nature, the further we get from the eternal place or the God state. Cleanliness is close to godliness. I challenge everyone to at least not eat past 7 p.m. You know, yes, drink your water, you know, have your fruit in the morning, right? A nice raw, you know, meal in the afternoon. But when it gets to 7 p.m., just stick to the liquids, right? Have, let's say, challenge yourself to drink 8 glasses of water from 7 p.m. until you go to bed, and maybe one small cup of tea, you know, with maybe one herb of your choice. What herb are you discovering today? Do you want to discover what red clover feels like? Do you want to discover what chamomile feels like? Discover one herb and make that into a tea. Do you want to discover what an aqua fresca is like? All right, well, let's soak up some dandelion, or let's soak up a cucumber and see what that feels like. What does it feel like to consume a live food for this living body? What is the information that is giving your body? What is the information in this cucumber? What is the information in this peppermint, in this basil, oregano, telling my body? What is the God, the same God that's breathing life in everything? How is it becoming a medium in this divine entity that I'm calling lavender, and I'm consuming that?
Mhm.
How am I allowing the divinity of the creator to enter my body in a different way?
I love it. Okay, then. So very powerful, very powerful. Okay, we have had audience. We have had three people who have brought the word to us in so many different ways. And so I'm hoping that they will be back on the 4th. They'll be a regular, would come and share with others information, and also not just information, but visualization that they have given. You
Mm,
know, sometimes when you have information, you have to have a visualization of the movement to see how you can transform your mind and your body. And that's what's most important. Okay, the will.
Yes.
And so I do want to
mm.
say that thanks everybody for being here.
Thank
And
you.
I look forward to seeing you very near in the future. And I'll talk to Brother Sam and I'll get your information if I don't already have it. And we'll make contact and we'll set and do meet and greet. I do want to say to our Facebook friends and our audience, YouTube, that please like us, say something, share for us. I understand that we only need 80 more people to like and share. So, everybody on here that's listening, all our friends, please go and like us on Facebook and YouTube and share us with other people and welcome them to the platform. And I just want to end today and say thanks everybody for being here. Renew beliefs, rebuild faith, and reconnect families and friends. For it is not the circumstances we meet, it is the manner in which we respond that determines health, happiness, and success. And I look forward to seeing you all same place, same time, same station next week, God willing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
I say
Yeah, it was wonderful.
definitely was wonderful and really appreciate everybody
Mhm.
joining. So it was amazing.
Thank you for inviting.
Oh,